Yesterday, we talked about James Jones leading the head coaching search for the Phoenix Suns and what that meant for his future, what that meant for the team's active search, I guess, to rework their front office, what it meant for everything that we expect to happen this offseason for the Phoenix Suns. And I left yesterday's segment, I think, more confused than I was going into it. We tried to find a reason why James Jones, whose contract expires at the end of June, who may not be the head person in charge, depending on who gets added to the front office. If Bob Myers is the guy who comes in, he's definitely going to be above James Jones in the decision-making role. So why is James Jones the point guard, was the phrase that was used in the report we mentioned yesterday. Why is he the point guard for this head coaching search? And I think I found the answer. I did a lot of thinking. I have a 45-minute drive home, normally extends to about 50-plus minutes, close to an hour, late in the day when there's traffic. So I had a lot of time, thought about it again this morning, and I figured it out. I understand the reason why James Jones is still the point guard for this head coaching search. Because the only logical explanation for this is that what Mat Ishbia said to us 2 weeks ago was not true. That what Mat Ishbia said in his press conference about accountability, about changes coming, about giving us a team that we can all be proud of, was just words. It was fake accountability. It was telling us what we want to hear. You did this as a kid. You got in trouble. You told mom or dad exactly what you knew they wanted to hear so that you could get out of being in trouble and you can get out of the situation. But you were going to go right back to doing the dumb thing that you were doing that got you in trouble in the first place. Actions speak louder than words. What was our main takeaway from that press conference? We said, this is a great start. These are the right words. The right phrases were used here. We talked about accountability. We talked about defensive identity and intensity. And we talked about changes. All of the things that you would put on a Suns exit interview bingo card that you wanted to hear from Mat Ishbia, you heard. But we also said that the actions are going to speak louder than the words, that it is a great start for you to say all of the right things. You now need to follow up on them. And I'm sorry, so far, I'm not seeing a follow-up that matches what those words told us. I'm seeing a follow-up that is a further reinforcement of a team that found themselves in the mess that they were in last season. If you want James Jones to be a part of your front office search or your head coach search, he needs a contract extension. His status and his future of this team after June cannot be a topic of conversation. We can agree or disagree with James Jones getting a say about the future of this team. I've seen people that have described him as the architect of the finals team and that things only went south when Mat Ishbia got involved and made the Kevin Durant trade and traded for Bradley Beal. And I do think that is a little bit of cherry picking and putting all of the bad stuff on the owner and putting all of the good stuff on James Jones. But if you want to have that debate and you want to make a legitimate argument for James Jones sticking in his role and that all that has to happen is Mat Ishbia and Josh Bartelstein have to get out of the way and let the basketball guy do basketball things, we can have that debate. That is a respectable opinion to have, but it should come with a contract extension. If James Jones is going to be the lead basketball executive, and that's a position that you want to take, then why is James Jones not getting a contract extension? Why was that not already a thing that has gotten done? I can tell you why. How bad of an optic would that be? How bad of a look would it be after this season being this bad, this era of Suns basketball being this bad, and Mat Ishbia getting up in front of all of us and talking about changes, talking to us about accountability, and then the first major thing that they do is extend James Jones? See, what you should have done is extended him last year and put a couple more years on that deal so that you didn't put yourself in this exact situation. Because the only way, in my mind, any of this makes any sense is if Mat Ishbia was just telling us what we wanted to hear. Because this feels like we are going down a path where there are going to be too many cooks in the kitchen, where they're going to do these things out of order, where this organization hasn't learned from their mistakes, and it is a process that they are doomed to repeat at a very critical point. They have major moves to make this summer. Major. They have to reshape their entire roster. And they are starting off on the wrong foot. So that is the only way that what is currently going on for the Phoenix Suns makes any sense in my mind. Is that when Mat Ishbia got up in front of that podium and answered all of our questions and used all of those words that we wanted to hear from him, that he was just telling us what we wanted to hear. Is there any other interpretation to what's going on right now? That a guy whose contract is expiring in June and who has not been given a brand new contract extension is not at this moment under contract to construct the 2025-2026 Phoenix Suns? It's going to be May tomorrow. His contract ends in June. That is 2 months from now. 2 months. 60 days? In 60 days, James Jones is no longer going to be an employee of the Phoenix Suns unless they give him a contract extension. And this is the guy that's overseeing your head coaching search right now, leading the way, the point guard. And while that's going on, oh yeah, we're going to make an addition to the front office. Oh yeah, changes are coming to the front office. Really? Have I missed a free agent, a front office move in the last week or so? Producer Evan, this is where you normally, you're keeping eyes
Nothing
and ears.
missed.
We haven't missed anything.
No, I've been scouring Twitter here.
So nothing.
Nothing.
We haven't missed a contract extension for James Jones. We haven't missed somebody getting brought in.
No.
None of it. Yet the one thing we have heard is that the guy who in 60 days no longer is employed by the Phoenix Suns is putting together the framework of how they're going to hire their next head coach. Where are my James Jones supporters at right now? This is for you. This question is for all of you. If he is going to oversee this head coaching search, why is he not under contract for next season? Why have they not already agreed to a 2-year extension to give him a runway to try and put together this next version of this team? Is he also going to be a part of the process that brings in somebody new to the front office? None of it makes any sense unless Mat Ishbia was just telling us what we wanted to hear. Because so far, how many weeks ago was that? 2 weeks ago? 2.5 weeks ago?
Roughly 2.5 weeks ago.
2.5 weeks. No changes to the front office. None. Zero. No additions, no subtractions, nothing. And we know that they want to do that first before they hire a head coach, yet the guy who's currently sitting in the chair is working on hiring the next head coach. Make it make sense. I can't, unless what we were told after the season was over was just telling us what we wanted to hear.